We're going to miss most of the greens as amateur golfers, which makes the short game of prime importance. You need it to get up and down wherever you are when you're missing 14 greens around. I'm going to show you all the secrets you need to know about the short game, and a secret no one talks about, that the short game is set up by all your other shots. With an intention to hit the ball closer to the hole of the tee but hitting a bad shot, I've left myself 164. 164 brings in a different kind of shot than if I were 120 yards away with a comfortable 48 degree in my hand. With that club in my hand, I'm going at the hole. With this 164 yard club, first hole of the day, I'm now looking to see where's a good miss. And anything short right here is great. So I'm going to take a club that will go 164 with a great strike, and with a poor strike will be like 155, leaving me on the front there and allowing for error on the right side so that I can chip easily up the green. And that is dictated by this distance. We've missed the green in the position we intended to, just short right. We've got no bunker trouble. We're not over hitting from below the green off a downslope. We are on an upslope, hitting with plenty of green to work with. The thing about the short game is missing in the correct area. When you miss in the correct area, you simplify the shot. And even that was an absolutely terrible shot, but we're on the green. And that's important. We increase our odds of putting it on the green and getting it closer by missing in a better area. Your tee shot will now dictate whatever your next shot is going to be and the expectation of what you're going to achieve. The shot selection right now is going to determine our short game shot. How? If I hit a 236 yard 7 wood with the ball above my feet like this, more than likely I'm going to hit it in the water and leave myself a drop and then a high pressure 70 yard chip over water. With this one, I want to get it closer to 100 to 120 from this particular lie. From that distance, I know I'm money with a wedge in my hand, and I can anticipate I'm going to stick the ball close. But of course, it depends on the result here. So pick a shot that's going to work, and then leave you the shot that you want into the green, the higher percentage chance of that happening. 9-iron punched, because the ball's so far above my feet, is a really high percentage play for me. So that's a chip out with the 9-iron. And it's going to finish, in my estimation, about 95 yards from the hole. We have left ourselves 100 yards exactly to plan, but we have to look at the landing area first to assess the potential short game consequences. This pin is cut 5 yards from the right side with a huge galaxy on the left hand side. The whole Milky Way is on the left side, meaning if you are scared of missing on the right and having to chip there, then you want to go more left. That's going to minimize the need to chip. But if you do want to chip, where do you want to chip here? And that means all the way on the left side, because you have all that green to run up, or you want to chip from behind the green on the left side, a flatter chip. You don't want to chip from the right side because it's a short side. You have minimal green between the fringe and the hole on the right side. Anywhere from 100 to 110 yards here is perfect. You hit to that range and accept that if your distance control is not perfection, you're going to chip from the back of the green or try get it on the back left of the green for a long putt. That's how you set up the short game shots that are comfortable to you. What's more comfortable to you? A long lag putt or a short chip shot from the back of the green? You pick and then go with it. That's got to get down though. That's a big dog right there. If you're missing the green way left, 30 yards, 40 yards to the left from 100 yards, you're probably trying to break 100. And that means you want to employ the rule of 12 toe down chipping, which I'm going to show you in this video. But right now, I'm an advocate of hitting the ball along the ground when you get the chance around the greens. I never used to be able to do this, so it took a lot of practice. You're going to try this the first time, second time, third time, and you're going to leave it short of the green. You're going to hit it way past. But eventually you're going to develop a feel and find that this is the highest percentage play for most of us. You're going to pound this like a cheap steak. And that means over this bumpy stuff, it's going to go pretty straight, going to bounce over it, then start rolling on the green. Pick your same line you would for any old putt. The main thing here is distance control, getting us to within 2 or 3 feet. That's going to be your simplest bet. The next bet is to not use your 60 degree. 60 degrees are specialized clubs for professionals who play at places like Augusta, very tight fairways. When you hit the 60 degree, the spin is completely different on every single shot unless you're a pure ball striker, which 90% of us are not. So the best thing you can do is use lower loft. I'm going to try with a 52 degree. You can do toe down chipping because we have quite a lot of space and an ability to land it just on the front and let it roll down the green. So what you do is you put your club down, you pick the handle up, you get close like a putt, you hold your grip like a putt, and you try to chip the ball off the toe of the club. That's going to give you the most even flight plus rollout. And that's what we have to remember. In short game, we are trying to plan for rollout because the ball will roll like a putt after landing. See, so I hit a 52 degree there, and not too bad, about as good as my putt. If I had a 48 or a pitching wedge, I bet that's in the hole. Those are two ways you can get up and down after your shots you've planned on the hole to set up these shots. These shots don't just come, they come from the previous shots. Now on a par 3, you're going to use your short game to become a par 3 king. This is really an opportunity for everyone to start scoring some pars if you have the correct distance, and if you don't, you can set the ball up into places that stop you making those silly double bogeys every time you play that same hole at your local course. On a hole like this from 175, 180, some people may not have the distance to reach that hole, yet they still keep going at the hole, leaving themselves, dumping it in the bunker, and then taking forever to get up and down, making a 5 every time they come here. What you can do is find the place that's going to give you the best odds of an easy chip if you don't have the distance to hit the ball at the hole. You don't want the Sahara Desert on the right here. It's absolute pandemonium over there. Look at the left side, huge amount of space, even left long in line with the pin, all the way to about 60 yards short of the screen. If you can get the ball to there, chip it on, 2 putt, you got a 4. If you can get it around the fringe, chip it, hit long putts, whatever it is you like to do, you can really get up and down for 3s more often. But taking things on that you can't do creates bad short game shots. I'll repeat that. Taking on things you can't do creates the difficult short game shots that you then blame your bad short game on, when it's not. It's your aiming, it's your planning that's creating a shot that are almost impossible even for professionals to get up and down from. Edge of the green. And an absolute money shot right there, right on the left edge, just like a bizhouse. I do understand you, the dispersion may be out of control for you, but that's okay as long as you learn the shots that are going to get you out of your problems quicker. And that means just working on the short game, especially to find ways of escaping this shithole that we get ourselves into when we're not that great at the long game. Now, this was not intentional. I actually wanted to finish on the left edge, very flat over there. Now I'm above the green, chipping onto the downslope. This is going to depend on your skill level. Can you pull the shot off? Most of us cannot. I might not pull the shot off, and that's okay. And I'm a 1 or 2 handicapper. Remember, REDTIGER, get it on the green. Whatever shitty situation you find yourself in, if you don't have high confidentiality, get it on the green. When you get high confidentiality, that's when you start trying to make them. Now for me, this is not a high confidentiality shot. See, so that's what's going to happen a lot of time. I don't like this shot. This is a bad miss. This is a miss I don't want to be in. I want to be there flat, which I'm going to show you right now. This is actually where I was aiming for. Nice flat area here, and even a bit shorter is going to give you a nice flat run up the green. So first one we're going to do is keep that ball low. Okay, always remember this from Gary Player's short game. Go high, you're going to cry. Go low, get the dirty hose. So we like to get the dirty hose here, and we hit a 7-iron. Now we can do this toe down, like I just showed you, about a yard onto the green. Now this can be whatever club suits you. When you look at it, see where it lands, imagine the rollout, what's going to get to the hole the best. That takes practice. Watch my rule of 12 video. That's just on the front. Actually, that's a pretty good club distance control. The next thing you can do is the 8-iron, and this we're going to pitch a bit further. Yep, just a little bit further. Absolute money ski. Now we take what a lot of people want to do, and that's a 56 degree, which is very inconsistent. Look how consistent those kind of shots are for distance control. You're going to be money. But use a high lofted wedge, and it's going to take a lot of consistency to do that and get the same spin each time, unless you're a very skilled golfer, like I am. We got a 350-yard hole up the hill here into the breeze. There we go, a bit too far left, but you know what, it's a great approach angle, like a big bouncy. I left myself 143 yards into the breeze. Into the breeze, you can start to accentuate your shot shape a little bit. If you fade it, it's going to probably fade a little more and maybe lose quite a bit of distance. So you want to make sure you hit enough club and then allow it to just drift to the area that's going to be safest. So if I were a fader and I hit a biggish fade or a small fade, I'd aim this left of the hole, hit him more than enough club, maybe an extra club, let that wind hold it up, push it toward the hole, and hopefully finish just right of the hole or in line with the cup. You can also go dead at the pin and it will fade to the right side for an easy chip on the flat front part of the green. The worst place to possibly be on here is long. Anything long beyond this hole is either chipping from an upslope onto the green or chipping below the green onto the green with the pin cut tight on the edge. So I'm going to take an extra club because I've been having a lot of soy milk in my coffee and I ate too much tofu last night. Feeling a bit low energy. 143, a beautiful niner. And it's not going to always go to plan. So I've put it up on the slope there and we're going to have to adapt from there with the putt. The short game is about adaptability. The higher number of shots you have in your arsenal of short game, the easier this game becomes. We've put this ball on the crest of a little plateau which goes downhill toward the hole. The number one thing to think about when putting is the distance control or the speed of the putt. Don't worry if you're not sure of the line. Just fake your confidence, commit to the line you picked first. Don't go look for a second time. Go with your instinct. It's normally right. Very few people change their minds and actually find the correct line after changing their mind. Speed and line are the two variables for great putting. Once you decide the line, it's out the way. That means you have freed up your brain to focus only on the speed. When you can focus only on the speed, you can stop the ball within a reasonable distance, left, right, or long of the hole, leaving a tap in. On downhill putts, you're going to expect a little bit more break to happen toward the end of the putt as the putt dies. It's going to take that break. And that's because you're giving it more time, because you're hitting a little softer. It's going to take with gravity down to the hole, more contact with the ground, longer period of time to take the break. An uphill putt, you hit it firmer, so it takes less time on the green and it skims over a lot of the break and actually breaks less than the same putt if it were just downhill. So we want to go left here, and for most people, left to righters, little sliders, they don't take enough break. So you want to take a little bit more break on your left to right sliders and then just focus on the pace. Don't worry if you miss the break. If you miss the break by a foot left, a foot right, it doesn't matter. If your pace control is good, you're going to be able to just go in there and tap it in ski. Just like that, and you can see it taking some break, and my distance control is perfect, leaving a beautiful tap in. And we have to remember, no matter how much you try putt these putts from, let's say, 20 to 25 feet, as a PGA Tour professional, they are only going to make 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10. So if you play an entire round of 18 holes, a pro may make 2 if they have 25-foot putts the whole day. They may make 2 of them, the other 16 they will miss. And the point of knowing about the PGA Tour pros is that it just lowers your expectations, less pressure, less negativity about your putting when you miss them. As long as you're two putting anything outside of 10 feet, you are golden. You know, if you're expecting yourself to make more 10-footers to play better golf, you're shooting for the wrong fish. You need to make sure you're not 3-putting and then make all your 3-footers 80% of your 5-footers. This is a 440-yard hole. We're going to determine our game from the tee to understand that we're probably going to have to scramble our little asses off to be able to make a par or even a bogey here. If you think you can't score using your short game like this, you have a black belt in no can do. I graduated from Bonham Young University as a South African, not a South Afrikaant. I'm going to determine I'm going to make a par and at worst a bogey, because I'm going to trust my short game and I'm going to show you how I'm going to set that shot up. Because after this tee shot, we're not going to be able to reach this green, never in a million years. So that means we have to be prepared for a pitch or a chip with an absolutely terrible 6-iron, pulled left, but it's in play. 210 yards over water. What would destroy my score? Slicing a 4-iron into that tree over there, topping it because I can't hit the 4-iron, not me particularly. Let's say you don't have the swing speed, maybe you're taking a chance at the top range of your bag. That's going to destroy your score. What's not going to destroy your score? What's my favorite shot into the green? Well, I like to have a little pitch shot. So from 210 to the hole, we're going to take the 150, 160 yard club and just hit it real comfortable, because we're not going to hit it on the green, so there's no need to hit it hard, and we have plenty distance to carry that water and leave ourselves in the fairway. Wow, what a stress-free shot. Let's just aim it just a bit to the left where that nice patch of fairway is, and give it a nice committed swing, and know that we're going to have our favorite pitch shot into the hole. There we go. Absolutely stinky. We've left ourselves in the fairway. We're going a little bit further because we were downhill, down breeze. So we've only got about 35 yards to the hole, which we like this shot because we know it's just a very little swing with our 56 degree that we practiced at the chipping area or on a golf course. You take a half swing with both your sand wedge and your gap wedge or your pitching wedge, maybe 3 clubs, and you take the same swing with all 3 clubs. The exact same swing, changing the loft of the club, gives you 3 separate pitch shots that you can use at different distance ranges. I know from here, just a tiny little sand wedge, 56 degree, may leave me right next to the hole, but remember, when you're not highly confidential, you want to make sure you hit the green by being assertive. When you have an assertive pitch, you land it on the green. When you get timid, you better change your club. You better change the shot, because that timidity is going to leave you chunking it, blading it. So we'll be nice and aggressive, little half shot, titties to the target. I always like to remember titties to the target. And then you hit a beautiful little shot like that. And that's something that you can do at the practice area. You don't need to have a beautiful swing. You don't need to have aesthetics. You don't need to hit the ball perfectly. If you can hit 2 shots like this somehow to a position that you like to pitch from because you've been practicing that little distance, wow, you're going to really improve your score a lot. And that comes down to practice. And when you practice, the thing you're finding is that you get imagination. Imagination is created on the practice facility, and then it increases your arsenal of shots that you can hit from any given situation within 60 yards, 80 yards, 100 yards of the pin. As you get a better short game, you're going to start putting the ball to like 5 or 6 feet more often. And that's a tough range, because even pros only make 80% of their 5-footers. You're probably looking at 70 to 75% of their 6-footers. So what you want to do is not do all that hard work and then rush these shots as if like, oh, don't worry, you know, they'll give it to me. And then you miss it, and then they don't give it to you, or you have to count that shot in a tournament, and then you get angry because you did all that hard work and you blew it on something 60 centimeters, 2 feet short, 2 feet long. I mean, take your time, right? Because if you're going to take the time to come up here and waste a shot, then have to do it again, all that time you use on the second shot, you could be using to just line yourself up on the short one. Come on, think about it. It's not going to increase the amount of time you take to play a hole that much. You take 1 second to get aligned, just to reset yourself, and just make sure it goes in the hole. You're going to feel so much better hearing that sound, terminating the hole, case closed, get to the next hole. When you pitch it more to like 5 feet or 6 feet, what I like to do, and I may not make this putt, I'm not really that serious about it, but what I like to do is keep my putter low to the ground and give it a little stabber. I like to just stab it a little bit, stab it just a little bit. I don't know why, but keep my putter low to the ground and stab it. Just helps to keep this ball on line. Beautiful. Now, another thing you want to do is, if you have trouble with these, you can putt either looking at where you want the ball to go, let's say right edge, like that, looking at the hole. It stops you from moving your head, stops the anxiety, and your body will hit the ball where you look. This is the opposite. This is why people miss putts. You're so anxious that you're looking where the ball's going. That's why as a right-hander you miss it on the right-hand side so often, because you're anxious. You want to see where did the ball go. On this hole we want to clear the water at 149, and the back edge is like 170 yards. So anywhere between 155 to 170 is going to be good. And each layer of distance is going to give us a different shot. To leave yourself a nice flat chip, you want to have perfect distance control on the left side if you know your shot was going to be exactly 160, 165. If you're trying to target just getting it over the water, you're going to have to try go long here because it's a flatter chip, or on an upslope onto the green beyond the pin. If you come long left here, this is your worst possible chip. You're hitting it towards water on a downslope or in a dome or in a concave area onto the green toward the water. Come on, boy Chi. I'm going to take a pitching wedge toe down and just make sure that this thing stays on the green and may even give a good result. We always with toe down, we want to land the ball about a yard or so onto the green, let it roll out. So there's many options around the green. It just depends on what you're comfortable with, and you have to use your shots. Don't go use the pro shots that is low percentage even for them. Okay, let's give it a bit of Bob Rotella looking at my spot. I'm going to look at my spot. I want to roll over just before the hole. Just keep looking at that spot. Look, my head's up. I'm looking at that spot in the cup. I'm going to show you something that's going to make me lose more subscribers than a female golf influencer showing us that she's got a boyfriend. I'm going to hit my 7-wood and my 6-iron off this tee on a par 5 to show you there's almost no difference. As long as you're getting that ball in play, you can always set up your free throw distance with your short game to increase your odds of making a par on a par 5 by using your comfortable clubs. Beauty. Wow, money. Here we go with a 6-iron, only like 190 or 200 yard shot. Oh no! You know what? That's gone terribly left, but I'm still going to show you it's the same thing. We've hit completely opposing shots. A beautiful 7-wood down there and a terrible 200 yard shot to here. Oh, 180 yard shot to here. So from 333 yards, what I have from here is the ability to hit something to what I want to hit into the green, which is then set up either a chip or a putt. But if we do find ourselves having to sacrifice for our third shot, having a 200 yard shot or 210 yard shot in, all we have to do is what I did on that long par 4 and set up our favorite pitch shot to get the ball close and try save the par or the bogey. Now, of course, everybody wants my distance and my direction and aim, even me. We've left ourselves 270 yards to the middle of the hole here. We have an open field. We can hit anything we want, and that's the difference between hitting a good shot and a crap shot. But at the end of the day, we're still going for 3 shots on this par 5, trying to set up what we want into the hole. I'm going to hit a 7-iron here to try set up a 100 yard shot. I don't want 80 yards, I don't want to have 90, I don't want 75. For me, that's not a comfortable shot. It's either inside 50 or 100 plus. Now, of course, you can say, well, if I had his distance, I'd be able to shoot that score as well. Well, you know what? If I were Brad Pitt, I'd be allowed to get bored of Angelina Jolie and leave her. Well, that's never going to happen, is it? So use your game the way you got it. You can get around the golf course without being envious of my humongous distance and superb physique. They don't call me the South African Grant Horvat for nothing. Yep, little fader. Into a slight breeze ski. We take the breeze into consideration and it's into us. So we take a 52 degree instead of a 56. Now with a wedge in my hand, I'm the man. So I believe I'm going to have a great dispersion here. Probably keep perfect distance control. Maybe 15 feet right, 15 feet left at the worst. And that's what I hope you get out of this. It's about your aim, your shot shape, your tendency left and right, and using that to advantage to find better aiming spots and better landing positions to get better up and downs. I've made a video which you can see in the description or at the end of this video where I missed every green and I still scored like a bouse because I am a bouse. That looks really good. Come on, sit down. Oh! I think I nearly hold that bad boy right over there. Now we've got to get this to land on a slope and let it scoot forward and break from right to left. We can fly this slope, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use the slope to my advantage. Land it on the sandy spot, like that, and hopefully that brings it down to the hole. Maybe could have gone a little further onto the green, but that's the imagination you need to use the slope that you have to be able to get the ball closer to the hole. Now with these kind of 7-footers, you're going to probably make, you know, if at your best, 5, 6 out of 10. So don't get too disheartened if you don't make them. Just know that every one you miss brings you closer to making the next one just because of the odds. That's gambler's fallacy, and you know what? It works in your favor. You see, you make one, you miss one. My tips are for everybody. I want everybody to play this game better. I'm not a professional coming on here trying to break 50. First it was break 70, then break 60, now it's break 50. What the hell is next? Break 40? Come on. That's a 6 hybrid ladies. This used to be a young ladies club that I stole. We've left ourselves 180 yards to the hole, about 190 to the back of the green. That's a long shot into the wind for a lot of people. So what we can do, we can see there's an opening on the right hand side and there's a bunker on the right. If we can hit a club that won't reach that bunker on the right, it gives us a simple chip from 30-40 yards from the right through the gap. Beautiful. Let's just avoid that bunker left, hit a club that won't get there, and hit a club that won't get into that bunker right, leaving ourselves a beautiful pitch up the green. Increase the odds of an easy shot, decrease the odds of a bad shot. And just like that, we can place the ball in a position that we like to pitch onto the green. I hope you see that this is all part of my recruitment into getting you into the religion of confidentialism. With confidentiality, you can do anything you want on a golf course. Imagine walking up to a ball and you've placed it there because you know the shot. It's a completely different experience to just hitting and hoping and then working it out as you go without knowing any of the shots. But sometimes the plan doesn't always go 100%. The next best thing we can do is use what we have, which I like a 60-yard shot. So I might have to shoot this 10 yards past the hole. Luckily the breeze is into me, so it should hold it up a little bit. So when we step up to a ball that we have high confidentiality with in that shot, we hit a better shot. That's confidentialism. On our final putt for this video, let's remember that we always take too little break, and the quicker the green downhill, the quicker the green on the side slope, the more break you're going to want to take, because it's really going to die toward the hole. As the ball loses speed, it's going to really move like a wave hitting the shore. It starts off real fast and you just skim over it, and then as you lie in the wave, it starts dying toward the shore, pushing you obnoxiously toward the sand. And that's like a putt. It's going to get obnoxious at the end, the last 3 feet, and it's just going to die into the hole. Now on a downhill putt, you can either putt off the toe with the same putting stroke, or imagine a hole short of the hole you're on and hit to that position. I like to putt off the toe. Watch how it snaps across the hole now because I didn't take enough break, and that's purely because of the slope. Easy game, what a life. And that's how we do it. That's how you plan the short game. That's how you play the short game. Here's more videos on how to use the short game to score better.